Hey y'all, my name is Amanda. I'm coming on here because I wanted to tell you about some dreams that I've had, and I just feel that there's a big connection. Because it didn't make sense to me until now, and I don't really want to be on camera. That's my cat, Ham, and yeah, there she is. It's a girl. It makes no sense. Anyway, and you might hear my other cat meowing in the background, so I apologize. I'm going to try to make this quick because I know no one wants to hang around and listen to really long things, but these are basically my dreams that I've had over the course of a couple years. I've had several rapture dreams, but there's been a few that have been kind of specific in the dates that they give. And like I said, they've never made any sense to me until now, so I'm just going to go for it. So I had a dream starting on April 30th. It was my very first rapture dream. I actually made a video about this, but I pulled it because I was just a little uncertain about it at the time. There was two dreams because I was sleeping and then I woke up and then went back to sleep, but they both kind of fell right into one another. So my first dream, I was at a store and I was in the card aisle, and there was a specific portion of that aisle that I was standing and looking for a card. Everybody else was looking at like the anniversary section and the birthday section. I remember looking over and seeing other people, but I was the only one in this specific area of the card section. And this card section was to celebrate Pentecost. And now I have to really put a thing on this and let you guys know, at the time, I did not know what Pentecost was. I may have heard the word in passing years and years and years ago, but I truly, honestly did not know what Pentecost was. I really didn't know what the word was. So this first dream, I was looking for a card to send to my mom due to that upcoming holiday of Pentecost. And every card in that Pentecost section had a cartoon shark on it. I don't know what this playful looking cartoon sharks even mean, but that's what were on all of these Happy Pentecost cards. I remember picking up a card specifically, looking at it, said Happy Pentecost written across it with a happy looking cartoon shark on it. I woke up out of that dream as soon as I picked up the card and looked at it, because it was like, it said Happy Pentecost, and that's when I knew, like, I'm looking for a Pentecost card. I woke up out of that dream at, this is around 4 a.m, but I went right back to sleep. My second dream, it's like it just picked up where it left off. And this was my actual rapture dream. I was laying in bed in the dream, and it was late at night. I knew it was late at night, and I was wondering out loud to God, kind of saying, God, when is your return? And as I'm asking him, I started hearing trumpets play, and they were very quiet, but they started getting louder and louder. And as they were getting louder and louder, I started raising up out of bed and going into the sky. And so, I woke up out of that dream. The next dream I had was a couple months later, in July 1st, 2020. I dreamt of talking with an individual, and we were kind of in this conversation, and it was kind of a political conversation. I don't want to get into that, but this particular conversation, we started talking about, I mentioned the number 50, something about the number 50, and the person I was talking to got so excited and was like, yes, 50, that has to do with Jesus's return. And we just kept going, and this was coming from that guy, and we just kept going on and on about the number 50. And that's all I could recall about that dream, was this number 50. But I ended up waking up out of the dream. A year later, I had another dream. Now, keep in mind, I've had dreams kind of throughout, and I have a dream journal that I write these down. But these ones, like I said, give a specific date or time. So my next dream was a year later on July 11, 2021. July 12th, 2021. In the dream, I kept discussing the 9th of Av with people. I kept telling people this is a date of rapture and destruction. Now, I was at Disneyland. I don't know why, but I was at Disneyland. And I don't live in California. I used to, and I used to have a Disney pass when it was really cheap, when the economy bubble burst in 2008. So anyway, but that, I mean, that was short lived. I haven't lived there in California in years and years. But I kept telling people, I was telling people in line, I was telling people around me, I was even telling the employees, I kept saying, you know, 9th of Av, it's rapture and destruction, it's rapture and destruction. I was just telling everybody I could, and then I woke up out of the dream. A couple weeks later, on July 29th, 2021, I fell asleep, and I was with a bunch of people in the dream, and we were in a very large open area looking into the sky. So I'm going to read the actual what I put. The sky began flashing brightly, sort of like lightning, but way brighter. I was still and relatively calm, but curious, and watched the sky intently. The people around me were slowly beginning to panic, as if to a point of a fever pitch, freaking out and screaming. I remember seeing them hold their heads with their two hands, with their faces filled with fear. Meanwhile, I began asking Jesus for forgiveness. So I'll stop really quick. I'm in this dream. The people were freaking out. Like, it just got like someone was turning up the volume. People are getting like crazier and crazier, freaking out about it. And I dropped to my knees. I was asking Jesus for forgiveness. I've had something very similar in other dreams regarding Jesus coming with the rapture. I've had several rapture dreams, but again, this one is giving me a specific date. After I dropped to my knees, I was asking for forgiveness. Then I was so excited, and I stood up and I said, I knew it would be the 9th of Av. I knew it. I knew the rapture would happen on the 9th of Av. And then the Christians in the dream began being raptured. And I remember seeing a girl's face. It was drawn with such sadness, and she was waving goodbye to me as I went up, as I was being raptured. And then I woke up. So what I find interesting is I've had a rapture dream, a dream that says Happy Pentecost, and a rapture dream happened immediately after it. And I always thought it's going to happen on Pentecost, but I never knew when true Pentecost was. Then I have a dream about a count of 50. There's something to do with 50. Then I have 2 dreams saying that the 9th of Av is going to be rapture, and it does happen on the 9th of Av. But I was always confused because I never knew Pentecost and the 9th of Av could simultaneously coexist at the same time. And they do, after watching Dr. Barry Aw and Tyler and all these different people. And it has driven it so home to me. A mystery for these past couple years. It was just a total mystery to me. I never knew what it meant. I thought, well, it can be only one or the other. How can Pentecost and the 9th of Av fall on the same day? But it does. I don't know if it does every year, but it sure does this year. And it's, Dr. Barry Aw and Tyler, they pointed out to be July 26th, which, people have had Christmas in July dreams type of thing, with the rapture happening. But my point is, they do coincide. It makes sense now. I thought maybe a 9th of Av dream was like a dream not from God. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Because why would you give me a rapture dream and then tell me it's going to happen on Pentecost but then the 9th of Av? But now it makes sense. That was where I'm getting at. I'm sorry. I tried to make this video as short as possible. It's bizarre.